Opinion: how PM Modi's dual strategy is paving the way for Naxal-free India under the astute leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah. India has seen a significant reduction in Naxal-affected districts, as part of a concerted effort to combat left-wing extremism (LWE). The number of districts affected by Naxalite violence has decreased from 126 in 2013 to barely 18 across 7 states by 2024. Since assuming office in 2014, PM Modi has prioritized tackling the long-standing challenge of Naxal terrorism, a left-wing extremist insurgency that has plagued India's hinterlands for decades. Rooted in socio-economic disparities and ideological extremism, Naxalism has posed a significant threat to internal security. Naxalism, inspired by Maoist ideology, emerged in the late 1960s in Naxalbari, West Bengal, as a violent movement advocating for the rights of marginalized communities. Over the decades, it, however, morphed into a dangerous insurgency, spreading across states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, and Bihar, often referred to as the Red Corridor. Naxalites exploited socio-economic grievances, targeting government institutions, security forces, and infrastructure while extorting funds from local businesses and mining operations. The movement thrived in remote, forested areas where state presence was weak, and poverty, lack of education and unemployment provided fertile ground for recruitment of gullible youth by Naxalites. Upon taking office, Modi recognized that a purely militaristic approach would not suffice to eradicate Naxalism. His government adopted a dual strategy, neutralizing the armed threat through enhanced security operations and addressing the root causes of the insurgency through development and governance. This approach, often encapsulated in the phrase Vikas or Vishwas, development and trust, aimed to dismantle Naxal networks while integrating affected communities into the mainstream. One of the cornerstones of PM Modi's war against Naxal terror has been the modernization and intensification of security operations. The Modi government bolstered the capabilities of the Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF), state police forces and specialized units like the Commando Battalion for Resolute Action Cobra. Improving intelligence gathering mechanisms to preempt Naxal attacks was prioritized. The establishment of multi-agency centers (MACs) and state multi-agency centers (SMACs) facilitated real-time intelligence sharing between central and state agencies. This led to more precise operations, reducing collateral damage. Remember, under the erstwhile Congress regime, Naxalism thrived as the previous Manmohan Singh regime refused to acknowledge the problem, much less dealing with it. PM Modi's approach to combating Naxalism has been novel and nuanced, never losing sight of the bigger picture. Security forces were equipped with advanced weaponry, surveillance drones and satellite imagery to navigate the dense forests of the Red Corridor. The use of technology, such as GPS-enabled tracking and night vision equipment, gave forces a tactical edge in guerrilla warfare. The Modi government established forward operating bases (FOBs) in remote areas, disrupting Naxal supply lines and safe havens, forcing insurgents to retreat deeper into forests. In 2017, Operation Samadhan, a strategic framework to combat left-wing extremism (LWE), was launched. The acronym Samadhan stands for Smart Leadership, Aggressive Strategy, Motivation and Training, Actionable Intelligence, Dashboard-based KPIs, Harnessing Technology, Action Plan for each theater and no access to financing. Over 14,000 Naxalites have either been killed, arrested, or surrendered since 2014, significantly weakening the movement's operational capacity. Shah's fierce determination to uproot Naxalism has borne stellar results. PM Modi prioritized building roads, bridges, and communication networks in Naxal-affected areas to improve connectivity and state presence. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana (PMGSY) was accelerated to construct all-weather roads, connecting remote villages to markets and administrative centers. By 2023, over 12,000 kilometers of roads had been built in LWE-affected districts. Under the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana and Saubhagya scheme, the Modi government achieved near-universal electrification in Naxal-affected regions. Additionally, the BharatNet project extended high-speed internet to remote areas, enabling access to digital services, education, and government schemes. The Modi government also established Eklavya Model Residential Schools (EMRS) for tribal children, offering quality education and vocational training. By 2024, over 400 EMRS were operational, benefiting thousands of students. Skill development programs under the Skill India mission provided training in trades like agriculture, handicrafts, and technology, creating alternative livelihoods for youth vulnerable to Naxal recruitment. Schemes like MNREGA Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and PM Awas Yojana Housing for All were prioritized in LWE areas to provide employment and housing security. The government also promoted forest-based livelihoods, such as the collection and marketing of minor forest produce MFP through the Vandhan Yojana, empowering tribal communities economically. The Ayushman Bharat scheme provided free health care to millions in Naxal-affected regions, addressing a critical grievance exploited by insurgents. Mobile medical units and health camps were deployed to deliver services in remote areas. Beyond security and development, PM Modi's strategy emphasized winning the trust of tribal communities, who form the backbone of Naxal support. The government introduced attractive surrender policies, offering financial incentives, vocational training, and protection to Naxalites who laid down arms. Since 2014, thousands of Naxalites have surrendered, with many reintegrated into society through skill development and job opportunities. The Modi administration encouraged security forces to engage in civic action programs, such as organizing sports events, medical camps, and cultural festivals in tribal areas. These efforts humanized the state's presence and countered Naxal narratives of oppression. The government worked to expose the contradictions in Naxal ideology, which often exploits tribal grievances while extorting money from the same communities. Public awareness campaigns highlighted the benefits of government schemes and the futility of violence, encouraging youth to reject extremism. The Modi government's multifaceted approach has significantly weakened the Naxal movement. The Red Corridor has shrunk considerably, with Naxal influence now limited to a few pockets in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. Data from the South Asia terrorism portal SATP shows a consistent decline in Naxal-related incidents, with 2023 recording the lowest number of attacks in over 2 decades. Civilian and security force casualties have also plummeted. Targeted operations have eliminated or arrested key Naxal leaders, disrupting command structures. For example, the 2021 killing of senior Maoist leader Milind Teltumdi in Gadchiroli was a major blow to the movement. The combination of military pressure and rehabilitation programs has led to a surge in surrenders, with over 7,000 Naxalites laying down arms between 2014 and 2023. PM Modi's war against Naxal terror has set a new benchmark for counterinsurgency operations in India. The government's ability to combine security measures with development and outreach have yielded unprecedented results, bringing the Naxal movement to its weakest point in decades. However, the battle is not over. Empowering local institutions such as Gram Panchayats is enhancing trust and ensuring that development benefits reach the grassroots. Security operations are being conducted with greater sensitivity to avoid alienating tribal communities. Independent oversight mechanisms are helping to address allegations of human rights abuses which were rampant under the previous Congress regime. The Modi government is also tackling the urban networks that provide ideological and logistical support to Naxalites, using a combination of law enforcement and public awareness. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India has made remarkable strides in its fight against Naxal terrorism. By blending aggressive security operations with transformative development initiatives, the government has not only weakened the insurgency but also begun to address the socio-economic factors that fueled it. By April 2025, the number of most affected districts, those accounting for 90% of LWE violence, had been reduced from 12 to 6. These districts are Bijapur, Kanker, Narayanpur, and Sukma in Chhattisgarh, West Singhbhum in Jharkhand, and Gadchiroli in Maharashtra. The number of districts of concern, areas with lesser Naxal activity but still monitored, has also decreased from 17 to 6, including Dantevada, Gariband, and Malamanpuram Chowki in Chhattisgarh, Latehar in Jharkhand, Nuyapada in Odisha, and Mulagu in Telangana. By 2024, states like Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh had been largely cleared of Naxalism, with Maharashtra nearly free except for Gadchiroli. Naxal influence is now primarily confined to a few districts in Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, the area affected by Naxalism has reduced from 18,000 square km in 2014 to 8,500 square km by 2025, with intensified operations since the BJP government took over in late 2023. In the last year alone, 287 Naxalites were neutralized, 992 arrested, and 837 surrendered in Chhattisgarh. Between 2004-2014 and 2014-2024, Naxal violence incidents dropped by 53% from 16,463 to 7,744, and deaths of security personnel and civilians decreased by 70%. Significant operations, including Operation Black Forest in 2025, the neutralization of 22 Naxalites in Bijapur and Kanker March 2025, and 27 Naxalites, including CPI Maoist General Secretary Nambala Keshav Rao, in Narayanpur May 2025, highlight the Modi government's targeted approach. The Modi government's strategy includes a multi-pronged approach: ruthless action against armed Naxalites, filling security vacuums with forward operating bases, 302 new camps in 5 years, development initiatives like skilling programs, 495 rupees crore for 48 industrial training institutes and 61 skill development centers, and lastly, encouraging voluntary surrenders. Financial assistance under the Special Central Assistance SCA scheme supports infrastructure development, with 30 rupees crore for most affected districts and 10 rupees crore for districts of concern. The path towards a Naxal-free India reflects a combination of security operations, developmental efforts, and state-center coordination, which has particularly intensified after the BJP formed the government in Chhattisgarh in 2023. Swipe left for next video. The Modi government's decision to rid India of Naxalism by March 31, 2026, as pledged by Shah, shows that the broader focus clearly remains on sustaining development, building trust, and ensuring that the benefits of progress reach the most marginalized sections of society. The war against Naxal terror is not just about defeating an armed insurgency, it is about securing India's heartland and creating a future where every citizen can thrive. Sanjay Verma is an economist, national spokesperson of the BJP and the best-selling author of the Modi Gambit. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely those of the author. They do not necessarily reflect News 18's views. Latest blogs.